What's up, guys? Today's video, we're gonna be talking about how you are jumping off of 1 foot wrong as an athlete. I know it sounds crazy, but we're gonna go through it. This video is going to be raw and unedited so that I can get more videos like this out to you guys. I hope you appreciate that. I'm literally still in my gym clothes from my dunk session this morning. That's how raw this is gonna be. Whiteboard is empty. I'm doing this off the top of my head right now. Nothing is pre-written, pre-script, nothing like that. So to start off, how did I get to the point or idea that there's more than one way to jump off of 1 foot? Well, as you guys know, I do GOTA. I don't do weightlifting anymore. And you shouldn't either if you're an athlete doing that stuff. Just stop it. Well, besides using GOTA to improve my movement efficiency, right, and even get stronger in those patterns, you still have to do things like plyometrics if you want to increase your vertical, okay? And over the past few weeks, even months, I would say I've kind of discovered this idea that there's more than one way to jump off of 1 foot. It's really just two ways. And to draw this out, I don't know how I can make this very clear, but I'm gonna draw out a line showing like an approach. So a typical 1 foot approach will teach you to do this, right? It will teach you, let's see, I don't know, what's gonna be the easiest way? You're gonna start out, right? And then you're gradually, as you're running through your approach, you're just slowly getting lower and lower, right? And then second to last step, penultimate, you get really low and then you jump, right? So typical cueing per se, off 1 foot is you get low and then that literally the last step is where you really stand up tall and lean back. And so you're going, low, low, get low, and then you go high. Well, what if you just started low, right? If here's like the threshold for low per se, man, if you guys even see those dotted lines, it's all right. What if you just start low and then you gradually just get higher? And that's it. Like kind of like this is more linear, right? It could look like an exponential graph. What if you just start low and then you just get taller as you plant and take off? Well, funny thing, you can literally do that. Now, here's where these two approaches or, techniques, whatever you want to call them, come into play, right? One is very speed controlled. I'll write that because that is important. We'll talk about it. The other one where you get low and then you're going from high to low to back to high is very, I'm just going to write force. It's heavy, it's more heavy, and you're relying more on power. Let me write that too, versus speed. Okay. Yeah, this is crazy to me still. Like, and you got to go out and try it yourself to actually feel the difference. But I'll tell you guys how things went with my dunk session this morning, because this is what I'm trying to transition to. I'm trying to get back to being a 1 foot jumper because I used to be a 1 foot jumper. I never jumped off of 2 feet. I sucked at it as a kid. I was just naturally athletic off 1 foot, could easily grab rim, as a little teenager kid. And weightlifting took that away, turned me into a 2 foot jumper. I'm trying to get it back. Now that's not to say I don't practice 2 foot or anything like that. Okay, we're just talking about 1 foot jumping. But between these two, right, force and power or speed and speed control, which one of these do you think requires the weight room more so and which one doesn't? Well, it's obviously force and power. And that's kind of a problem because I don't lift weights anymore, thank goodness. But that means this kind of technique just isn't gonna cut it for me anymore. So that's what led me to finding this technique. Just start low, and then you get high as you go through the jump. And so this is what my training for the last few months, plyometric wise, has been about: speed control. That's not to say power, strength, this stuff isn't important, But speed control is what really matters and is more athletic. And let me get into a few reasons why I think speed control is so much better in all aspects than trying to weight lift and do this force and power technique. So speed control, there's like a few things. I don't even know if I need to write anything on this board, but one is everybody, I don't know, I'll write my thoughts out. Everyone has speed. Now, whatever your top speed is, it's obviously going to vary for everybody. But I would argue pretty much everyone can, run. Even if it's slow, you're still faster than you walk. We can all gain speed, okay? We all have that ability. Sick. You don't need a weight room for that at all. You don't need a weight room to train that, to get better, right? Now, the second thing with that, so we all have it. The second thing is, how do I want to say this? Speed control. There's like almost unlimited potential to this approach. Okay, we already know about weightlifting, wrecks your movement, gonna cause pain and injuries, and you're just gonna deal with that, and that sucks. You don't need to do any of that. Ditch the weights, switch your approach, get better at controlling your speed. But this is like, I will just write unlimited potential, to be honest, of like progression. Unlimited, frick, bro. I don't think I just spelled that right, whatever. This is raw, so you guys are getting it real. So two things here, here's the truth. You'll never be able to control 100% of your speed, right? Your top sprint, whatever that is, you won't be able to control that enough to convert it purely into jumping up, right? It's not gonna happen. But what can you do? Well, you can get better at controlling that tops, getting as close as you can to that 100% speed of controlling it. Okay, so that's like one way. I don't know how to draw this. I just want like an infinity sign, because that's one way to increase it, is you're actually improving speed control. The other thing is just increasing your top speed, which you can do, right? And this is kind of it, you guys. And I've been practicing this. Now, speed control also, in my opinion, is way more sport specific, especially for basketball. So in my dunk session this morning, I did a lot of approaches. I did my warm up and all that stuff. My normal approach is 3 to 4 steps off of 1 foot. So I'm about at the 3-point line on the court. So half court setting. It's still important to be able to do that. But today, what I worked on was approaches from half court and beyond. So half court, 3/4 of the court. Start from there. Start my approach. You got way more time to get speed, and then I'm repping it. It was a workout. It's way different than my normal approach, which is slowly get low, and then go up. This is why my training is all about getting low, get low, stay low, be strong and comfortable there, and then gradually get taller and go up as you push off of 1 foot. So I'm changing that. And I've been working on the court, and I feel like it's way more sport specific, because in your sport, like for me, when I play basketball, I'm way more likely to get a dunk off of 1 foot or 2 feet on a fast break, right? It's not as likely to happen in the half court setting. Maybe I run off of a screen, around the 3-point line, and then get a wide open lane to drive and dunk it. That could happen, but it's just not as likely as having a wide open gap on a fast break, right? So practicing 1 foot approaches from half court or 3/4 the court or even full court is actually more game specific. In my opinion, it just makes sense. So that's where my training is going towards, are more of those longer approaches. What's funny is, in my opinion, doing that actually makes the shorter approaches easier. And you have to learn real quick. You know, when I only have 3 steps, 4 steps to go, how do I get those steps as quick as possible, but in a way that I can control it? Because that's what matters. You can try to just sprint as fast as you can and jump. It's not going to work out. It's all about speed control. So this is what I've been working on. I really feel the difference, and you know, I'm just getting started. I definitely spelled that wrong, bro. That needs to be an I. Wow, I just caught that. Nice. Forget this. This is for weightlifting. If you're doing weights, you've heard enough from me about that. But speed control is where it's at. You start low and then you just gradually get taller as you jump. And it makes sense. It's the same thing. You're getting the same thing. But there's 2 different ways to jump off of 1 foot. It's crazy. And speed control, everyone can do this. No weights required. That's what I'm doing. And in my opinion, progression-wise, it's way quicker. There's more potential for progression, and it's more sport-specific, right? Think about, if you're a basketball player specifically, think about when you get on a fast break, like an actual fast break, and you're just sprinting. Now, being able to control that speed into a jump is one thing, but you get low, right? And one thing that's going to happen is this doesn't really come into play because, you know, you're beelining down the court, bro. And like, you're going to get lower. You know, that's not something you want to train. You're going to break yourself, you know, meaning breaking the forces and then not jump as high. But if you can train yourself to jump from just being low and then gradually get tall, like a fast court dunk is well in your bag as an athlete, 100%. So anyways, this is raw and unedited. Probably could have been more organized with my thoughts, but whatever. I'm trying to get videos out to you guys. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys think. Any questions you have, reach out to me, and I'll see you guys on the next one.